Hello, everybody. I'm happy to be back with another Young Indian, part of the Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Bhavana. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Bhavana.
Okay, so I'm Bhavana. I'm currently pursuing my master's in financial economics from Madras School of Economics. I was born and brought up in Chennai, but I had a couple of years of experience in North India. That was when my father was posted in Jabalpur, which gave me a great exposure to North India and the Hindi language itself. That made me take up Hindi as my second language, which made me quite proficient in it, and I think it's going to be very useful in the future. If at all I'm going to land up there again, I'm not going to have a problem communicating. Coming back to my passion for economics, I did my bachelor's for economics from MOP Vaishnav College. It was a great and serene atmosphere there. And although the knowledge there was limited to theoretical economics, in my master's, I was exposed to a lot more mathematical and quant-based economics. And not just that, it was also more divulging into a lot of computer modeling, such as machine learning and state and R, which gave me quite a bit of exposure. And it was totally different from what I learned in my undergraduate program. And I think this itself has been a great change for me that I have embraced fully. And I think it's all about learning how we get out of our comfort zone to learn these new things.
Okay. But what made you choose economics for your undergraduate?
So I took up commerce along with marketing. I come from a non-maths background. In until 10th I took up maths, but in 11th when I saw the syllabus and that it included topics like trigonometry, straight lines, I really didn't feel like it, and I wanted to take the so-called chiller subject called marketing. And after I was done with my 12th, the question came of what I should be doing. I remember sitting with a big book and putting on plan A, B, C, and it went on until HIJ. There were so many plans. And when I looked back at this a year back, it was I was surprised to see that economics was not even one of them. Like economics was not in my plan at all. So initially I was considering something like chartered accountancy, and then I thought I might write CLAT and get into a good law school. But none of those things really happened, probably because I didn't have the passion for it. And I ended up taking up economics because that was one of my favorite subjects through 11th and 12th. And when I joined BA Economics in MOP Vaishnav College, I did not regret it one bit. Although the initial years were online form of education because of the lockdown, but it gave me quite a bit of exposure, and that too in an in-depth level. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I remember hearing other people also telling from outside, saying that economics, what scope does it even have? Do you plan on doing an MBA later, or do you plan on doing a UPSC later? I was like, no, I'm just doing economics because I like it, and I'm going to figure out what I want later. And I think the fact that I've taken up economics in my post graduation also says that I have not regretted this decision.
But now it's going to be mathematical, isn't it?
Yes,
So
it has been.
what happened to your problem of mathematics?
Yeah, so when I joined Madras School of Economics, I thought it is going to be mathematical because I talked to a couple of seniors who had joined Madras School of Economics from my undergraduate college itself. It was scary to hear that it was going to be all mathematical and there was going to be very less theory. But the fact that the topics, especially which I was hours off during my 11th and 12th, those topics were not going to be there in the
Yeah.
mathematical economics because we don't have trigonometry
No,
or straight lines or anything of that sort in economics. It
no.
was just integration, differentiation,
Yeah.
and building up to more advanced level of economics based mathematics.
Yeah.
And that itself I wouldn't say it didn't take effort. It took a lot of effort from my end to match up with my other peers, but I was able to successfully do that. And I think the reason for that also would be my passion fueling me towards growing and nurturing myself. I remember after preparing for my Madras School of Economics entrance, while waiting for the results itself, I took out some 11th and 12th books of my brother's because he had taken up 11th and 12th maths. So I practiced differentiation, integration, and all the stuff from those books, and I made myself mentally prepared to join that college before even the results came out.
Okay, so you were ready.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, and how is it in the college these days for you?
The college is great, I would say. Although the campus is quite small, it is very green, and it is actually you can feel a breath of fresh air while entering that itself. Unless you are going to come there in a heavily rainy downpour season where it is going to be more or less flooded because it's a low-lying area. But the campus is great. It has a nice and serene library, and it also has two separate study halls where you can sit by yourself or even with your friends to study. And the course curriculum itself has been brought up to the level of international course structure. Like if we compare the syllabus to something like LSE or Harvard, I think it's going to be at par with that.
Okay.
So I think that keeps us very competitive, which is what motivates a lot of our peers to also take up further studies after writing GRE or GMAT in abroad universities as well. So, and the professors here are also all having PhDs with a relevant experience. Some of them are from excellent colleges also, like DSE or IG IDEA. So, I think, or even Calcutta University, that is the best known for economics, right? So, I think they provide us with a lot of foundation. Although initially during our first semester, it might feel when we are coming from a basic undergraduate program and coming to a master's program, it might feel a little advanced. But then once we stretch and try to get there, I think it's going to feel a lot more relevant and useful.
Okay. I think maybe in your undergraduate college, the people were mainly from Tamil Nadu, but is that also the case here for your master's?
No, sir. Actually, here there are a lot of people here from North India as well because this is almost the second or third. It's in the top three colleges for economics itself. It is DSC, IG, IDR, and MSc. So there are a lot of people from North India as well, but there are quite a number of South Indians as well, as the TN quota has also encouraged a lot of Tamilians and other South Indians to take up this course. So it is in overall at a national level, it is a competitive entrance to clear. And once you make it, it is going to be worth it. So if at all anyone is considering economics, I would 100% recommend this college. All you have to do is come with an open mind, and even if you hate mathematics, I think once you really know why the mathematics is being used and what your aim is with it, I think you will find the drive to learn it.
Okay. And so what's the future for you?
I think for initial couple of years, I am going to stick to the corporate world. And after that, if I do happen to enjoy it, I will continue there as well. Otherwise, I'm planning to do my PhD and discover other lines, or I might even try to attempt some competitive exams for banks.
Okay, so right now it's open.
Yes. I am open for all fields and all exploration, and I want to experience every side of the world once.
Okay, wonderful. Any PhD abroad or in India?
It depends on where life is headed then. And I think I would prefer a PhD abroad because I have done both my UG and PG in Chennai itself.
Yeah, okay, all right. Anything else you want to tell us about your upbringing, your life, your decisions, whatever? Tell us.
One thing about me is that other than other than economics, in my personal life, I also have a deep flair for writing. So back when I was 14, I was really thrilled by reading fantasy fiction novels such as Harry Potter. I went on to write my own book and publish it, and that was also a fictional novel. And I think I consider that as the spot where I actually started getting really creative. And later on, I discovered a lot more of myself through poetry and a lot of blog writing. And recently, I've also started writing for a magazine called Women's Era. And I also write on health and lifestyle tips. And I think that is something I enjoy doing side by side, because sometimes when a course is very difficult and gives you all the pressure, we need to find a way to actually relieve that stress. And I think everyone is supposed to have a hobby which they can get back to whenever they feel very stressed.
And do they pay well? Like you write for this Women's Era. What are you, a stringer or are you a correspondent? What is your status there?
I am just a freelance writer, so I
Freelance.
just write whenever I'm free.
Right.
And they pay decently well, but I am just not that regular at writing because it is, of course, part-time. And obviously, being a freelance writer itself, I wanted to have that as a passion and not as a profession, because again, I feel that if I'm going to pursue that full time, I might just get bored of writing itself.
Okay.
I prefer writing when I want to and when I get the ideas.
Hmm.
I really can't force ideas out of me.
No.
So yeah. So I think that itself would be another pressure to sit and come up with new ideas and try to write.
Yeah.
So when I feel my best and when I feel like writing, I give my best work and I get it published.
Wonderful. This is actually, I don't want to talk about myself, but I was just like that when I was your age. I also
Okay.
used to write, and actually, you can't combine really, you can't have both economics and writing.
Yes.
Economics actually dulls you. You can't write that uh, way you used to write. I mean, I found that out.
Yes.
It becomes too academic. You can't write in a way that you used to be able to write. When
Exactly.
your mind was free of all the jargon and stuff like that. And in those days, I'm talking, there used to be a weekly publication in India called the Illustrated Weekly of India.
Right.
You are too young for it. Ask your parents.
Okay.
But at that time, it was the only. Every middle class family had it, because it was the only one that was published throughout India and read throughout India. There were also women's magazines like Femina, and Women's Era also, I think, was there. Maybe I'm wrong, but it was there. But that was a separate category. So for the family, it was only Illustrated Weekly of India. And they used to have a short story, and mostly, every week, and sometimes they would have one story running 4 or 5 weeks, spread. And they usually have only well-established writers. But I managed to get a story published there. That was like a high point, okay, because they would perhaps take 1 or 2 unknown authors a year.
Okay.
That was just 1 or 2. Everything else, 50 weeks was established, and 1 or 2. But that time I had just started my PhD. So it was, I wrote it before that, but then it was published when I was already in a PhD program. And then, there was no time to write. And by the time I thought I will write, the spark had gone.
Yes.
Because you need that spark, as you rightly said. You can't force it. You need that spark.
Yes.
So that spark wasn't there. But it has paid well, because even today, people hire me not only for my thinking, but my ability to write. So don't lose that ability.
Yes.
Because very few people can write.
Hmm.
Very few. Good. Anything else you want to tell us?
So, just as you were saying about the spark, it reminded me that back when I was in 11th and 12th, or even in my UG, I used to write so much more compared to now. Like now, even if I do have the time at some point on a weekend and I open MS Word to sit and write, it is so difficult at sometimes when I don't really have the topic.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just go back to thinking, okay, maybe I should just get done with my assignment and finish those deadlines, because again those get the first priority because there is just so much to do.
Yeah.
So
That's correct. But I tell you, it helps. It helps. It's
yeah,
very
it does.
important skill. Don't lose it. We tend to
Mm,
lose it. Okay, the spark goes away. You don't have the creativity, but the ability remains.
mm,
Even if you have to write a report, which is a official report, professional report, that it really helps in it. It really helps. So don't lose that skill.
yes.
It's an important skill and very few people have it. Very few
Mm.
people have. Good. Okay. Anything else you want to tell us?
So I think this writing skill of mine itself will help me in taking up a dissertation for my final year, because in the final semester, students in MSc are given an option either to take up two extra electives or do a dissertation or a thesis uh, under a professor in the college itself. So I myself have taken dissertation as the option because one, I actually like research and I like to learn about new things and exploring new models. And secondly, I think it is actually going to uh, involve a lot more writing skills from my side itself, and I want to employ those. And I think it also has something to do with the fact that I want to have a paper of my own so that I can have the option of PhD itself open for the future. Um, so I think that is why I'm going to choose a dissertation for my next semester.
Okay. Any tips you have for young people? Who are in
Uh,
11th, 12th, or still in bachelors. Now you are quite a senior. So what tips
yeah.
do you have for those people?
Okay, for those in 12th, I remember studying a lot in 12th, and I remember making exams my entire life. I would just say, please don't do that to yourself, because whether you get a 60 or 70 or 80, it doesn't matter. Especially in bachelors, it really doesn't matter. If you're a science student and you're aiming for IIT or NIT, even then your 12th score doesn't matter because they have entrances of their own. I have known so many people who didn't take their 11th and 12th seriously but still ended up in great colleges like IIT and NIT because they took those entrances seriously. But if you want to take up something in commerce, I know that there are certain colleges just like SRCC and Lady Shriram, which only look at your 11th and 12th, which look at your 12th board marks. But again, I don't think it is really necessary to go there itself. And I wouldn't say that is your only path to success, because again, I know a lot of people who didn't go there and have made it big. It is possible to even take up a good college for masters through an entrance by preparing for it. So when you are a child, I would just say live life and enjoy. And of course, you should study. I'm not saying you need not study. I'm not saying you throw it away, but just don't let it get into your head and get stressed. Don't keep thinking, oh my God, I need a 99, a 95 is bad. Because I really think I was that student, and I really shouldn't have become that. Because really, till date, my 12th marks have not been useful anywhere. Like, I don't think my bachelor's college considered my 12th marks, nor did MSc. Madras School of Economics only considered the entrance and the uh, yeah, that's about it. So,
Yeah,
and hmm.
go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and for those pursuing your bachelor's, if you like it, great, continue your master's in that. Or if you want to work for a couple of years, that's fine too. Or if you don't want to pursue a master's, that's great as well. There are so many opportunities you can get without even doing a master's. I'm not saying master's is a necessity for everyone. There are so many people who just actually gain practical exposure and make it big uh, in the corporate world itself. Or some of them even take up a lot of exams like IBPS or civil services and make it big. And I think a bachelor's is a more than enough qualification for that. And for those who don't like the subject they're pursuing in bachelor's, they can very well shift to master's in a different line. I have so many people who are from various backgrounds in my college itself. Some of them are from commerce. Most of them are from economics, of course, but we also have engineers doing a master's in economics here, which shows that it's never too late to actually shift uh, your line of study or your passions, because it's never too late to actually change your passions. And you can always pursue your passion even when you're 40 or 50. There are people who switch careers even at 40. So, what is wrong with changing your specialization at master's?
All right. That's very, you have not hit 40 yet. So I'll say that don't take an advice about 40. Ask somebody who's 50 what it's like to change at 40. But take her advice for younger people because she's lived through it. She made a mistake. She took it too seriously and she's saying, enjoy life a bit more. Don't take it so seriously. Okay. Anything else you want to tell us?
I think that's about it.
Okay. So I mean, you write for something, but what's your pure entertainment, which you don't do, somebody else does for you? What is your entertainment?
Sorry, my pure entertainment.
What do you do for entertainment? Like writing is not entertainment. Correct?
Yes.
Writing is output. You just like to listen to music or you like to dance. What is it that's your enjoyment?
Okay, so back until my ninth grade or 10th grade, I learned Bharatanatyam for 5 years. And a lot of my entertainment actually includes fitness. It has either been tennis or table tennis or Bharatanatyam. I just find some way to keep myself physically fit, because that on its own actually has a great impact on your mental health as well. So you have to find anything you can do about your physical health, and it need not be boring like hitting the gym or exercising. We can also find other passions like Zumba or Bharatnatyam or any sport you like, for example, because that's actually going to motivate you enough. And it's also going to have a social life of its own, which is going to push you to meet them and thereby keep you fit. So I think it's a great idea to actually do something that can have physical health benefits as well, because it is wrong to look at it as I don't have half an hour to do this, because actually it gives you productivity of 2 times extra when you actually come back after that physical workout.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Manu. Anything else do you want to add here?
I would just say follow your passions, and even if the journey itself is difficult, I think the destination is going to make it worth it. So it just has to have some, if given all the efforts and given all the passion, I would say in the end of the journey, there is something great waiting for all of you. So just follow that path, and even if it's the road less taken, as people say.
Yeah.
And after I finished my bachelor's, I was advised by a lot of people to take up an MBA, because that would have career opportunities. But I didn't listen to that, because I really didn't feel like doing an MBA back then. Personally, I wanted to go on and pursue economics, and there are so many people pursuing economics along with me. And I still wouldn't trade my master's in economics for an MBA, even though it's the road less taken. And I think I've enjoyed it thoroughly. So even if you think that what you're doing is somewhat different from others and not exactly a path anyone might choose, then you should still go for it. Don't listen to others who keep demotivating you. saying that this is not going to have enough career opportunities in the end, or this might not lead you to the path you think it leads to. Don't listen to them, just keep.
Okay, wonderful. I'm so glad that you have. And by the way, you talked very optimistically. Okay? You feel that things go right. So it's great to hear somebody who is so optimistic. Look, don't worry. Don't study too hard. Take life a little bit easier. But you will make it. It's very optimistic. I am glad that you have that optimistic view of the world. That look, it's going to be okay. Do it. And you can't, of course, take it easy, but you don't have to kill yourself.
Exactly.
Right? All right, good. So thank you so much, Bhavana. It was a pleasure to listen to you. Let's end it here. I'll be back with another young person or an expert. Bye till then. Bye, everybody.